I'm 34F to conceive naturally, but my partner 36M insisted on IVF. How do I convince him otherwise? Exactly the headline. I'm a healthy 34F that can afford to conceive naturally per my fertility specialist 8 months ago, but after telling my partner that I am ready and can go off BC, he 36M almost freaked out and questioned why I would consider naturally when IVF is an option. He brought this up because I did IVF to freeze my eggs, didn't fertilize it, earlier this year. He's very adamant about it, not understanding how impacting IVF is on my body and the overall. Anyone with experiences can help me with pros and cons so I can talk to him? You need to explain a bit more on how you got into this situation where you were discussing IVF before even trying natural conception. Does your partner think spending thousands on IVF with no guarantees of pregnancy is better than Netflix and chill? Is he hoping for you to use donor sperm? Does he have some sort of genetic disease running through his family? There's something he isn't telling you. Find out before you go off BC. Either he doesn't understand how IVF works, or he does and there's a reason he wants it, done genetic problems, he wants a certain gender, etc. I don't understand. Your boyfriend insists on IVF without even trying to conceive naturally? What possible benefit could that have? The only reason I can think of is if either of you is the carrier of some rare genetic disease, then, in rare cases, IVF can be used to choose unaffected embryos. Quite costly though. IVF costs a lot of money and is not super fun to go through. Why not just have unprotected sex for a few months, figure out when you ovulate, and see how it goes? You need to show him the amount of shots you will need and the size of the needles and the appointments. What a moron. You sure you want to procreate with him? My husband, M23, won't stop calling me F20 mean names. How do I get him to stop? We've been married for 8 months and anytime he gets angry or slightly annoyed he can't control himself and calls me a mean name. It's not like he's calling me a bitch or anything, but he calls me dumb, or stupid, and it's honestly really frustrating and demeaning. I've told him so many times that it bothers me and I'm not okay with it, yet he still does it. Literally last night we were putting up our Christmas tree and I didn't plug the lights in correctly and he starts grumbling and says, "You fucking dumbass, you could burn the house down." That's just an example, but it completely ruined the Christmas spirit I had going on. I was really excited to decorate this year because it's our first year celebrating as a new married couple. I just don't know how to get him to stop. I try to set boundaries, yet I never follow through with consequences. I don't want to leave him, but I just wish he would stop. Maybe it's my fault for not following through with consequences, but I wish he respected me. How do I get him to stop calling me names? I try to set boundaries, yet I never follow through with consequences. Try following through with consequences. Maybe it's my fault for not following through with consequences, but I wish he respected me. You can wish it all you want, but it's clear he doesn't. He's not going to magically wake up and be a nicer person to you. Your options are to either leave or set hard boundaries and follow through with them. He will never stop because you haven't given him any consequences for his actions. Him making you feel bad and hurting you is not a consequence to him because he does not care. Sorry to be blunt, but you need to grow a spine and stick up for yourself, even if it means you end up divorcing this guy. He doesn't like you. Time to move on. Divorce the asshole. That's how name-calling stops. Divorce. That'll make him an ex-husband. You're not stupid and it's not your fault. However, you welcome the behavior that you continue to accept. Woman up. Put your foot down to be respected as a human adult in your own house. By leaving him, abuse never gets better. Girlfriend, 23F, told me, 29M, she had slept with her boss before we met. How do I deal with this? I've been together with my girlfriend now for 8 months. We met working together at a coffee shop where I was covering weekend shifts for about a month or so. She works part-time as she's also a student, and I had been looking for more work at the time and ended up moving to a different location. We hit it off after the first few times working together and started going out towards the end of the time I was working there. Since then our relationship has been really good. We've both improved each other's lives by caring for one another. We never lack things to talk about and we just get along very well. All in all, I am happy with the relationship I'm in and want it to continue, but as the title suggests, I'm dealing with some negative feelings right now. The other day she called me in tears telling me how she had something to tell me and said that before the two of us had met she had slept with her manager, a guy we both know from having worked there. She told me that she felt I should know because she didn't want there to be secrets between us and that she felt guilty not informing me earlier before we got more serious. It didn't really affect me that much at the time when she told me. I think she felt pretty bad about the whole thing having happened in the first place since she had shown animosity towards her manager to me in the past, but I wasn't feeling weird or put off by it in the moment, just kinda surprised. She came over later that night an absolute mess and we had a good time together before going to sleep. Now that it's been a few days though, I can definitely tell this is bothering me and I'm getting uncomfortable about her working together with someone she slept with who is also her boss. She only works 2 shifts a week, but one of those is with him one-on-one and I'm having a hard time not thinking about that without getting angry or upset. She had told me when she first said what happened that she thought about quitting after they had slept together and that she was willing to quit now if it was bothering me, but I didn't really mind that much at the time. Since then I've expressed to her that it is bothering me and she told me that she would ask to have her schedule switched around so they wouldn't be working together, but now I wonder how much I'm letting my uncomfortable feelings and uproot her life because of something that happened before we even met. I don't really know what to do right now with my feelings. I'm confused as to whether or not I want to ask her to find a new job or if I want to just accept things and move on from them. Hopefully someone out there reads this and can give me some advice to work things out either in my head or with my girlfriend. I guess the question I have is what would you do in this situation that would be ideal for both me and my girlfriend given the circumstances? Thanks for reading. I had to say the cynic in me doesn't love her story. She slept with her boss. She waited 8 months to tell you. After waiting 8 months, she was an emotional mess telling you? She said she wanted to quit after it happened. She speaks unflatteringly of her boss. Yet she still works there. She told you she would quit if you were uncomfortable with the situation, but when you said you were, she just offered to try and change her schedule? She only works 2 shifts at a coffee shop. She could get those hours anywhere. I'm sorry, for me, something just isn't right with the whole situation. I'm guessing they hooked up more than she is admitting, more recent than she has stated, or there is just a lot more to the story. It's only 2 shifts a week, she should get a new job regardless of you being in the picture. The bigger issue I'd have is she's someone that sleeps with her boss. It doesn't reflect highly on her character going forward. I can't help but feel like this is recent guilt rather than something that happened 8 months. That shit definitely happened more recently, homie. Women don't tell you who they slept with before you met, without us reason. Everyone has a history, also a sexual one. But people don't feel the need to share it if it doesn't mean anything anymore. For some reason what she did has started to affect her again. I'd be very careful. I agree with what people are saying here. They fucked more than once including behind your back. And then they had a disagreement and their hidden relationship isn't working for some reason so now, she calls you to apologize but actually, it's just to make sure she doesn't lose you, too. You are being played here. Open your eyes. You best leave. How'd I, 24 female, tell my boyfriend, 30 male, that I wasn't feeling the moment with him tonight? I wasn't feeling well today and laid down to take a nap around 3:30. I didn't wake up until 6:30. When I say not feeling well, I mean mentally. I have bipolar disorder, depression and anxiety. I say, I'm not feeling well, instead of what's really going on because I'm not the type to really talk about it. On to the story. When I woke up he was asking me to scoot over so he could lay down. I ended up going to the bathroom instead and when I came back he was laid down on his back. I decided to lay down beside him and cuddle. Still not feeling 100% myself. He took it as a way of moving my hand. Down there. It ended with me doing oral. Him forcing his member in my mouth and forcing my head down even more. I wasn't feeling it. There was no foreplay for me. No kisses between etc. like there usually is. When he finished, I got up to get the towel. He cleaned up and sat up to get back on the game or resume whatever he was watching on YouTube. Then asked me about the fried chicken he has been wanting me to make. I got up not hearing him cause I was turned over away from him with tears in my eyes. When I realized what he wanted I came downstairs to make it and am not currently waiting for the chicken to finish while I cry and write this. I feel used above all else and like in this moment, I don't matter to him. Girl, you need to leave him. Girl, I often don't feel it, and my husband always respects me when I say it. Please find a similar man who listens to you. You can freely tell your boyfriend that you are not in the mood. As simple as that. If he is not that kind of a person, get rid of him. Oh honey, I'm sorry. He's a user. Please break up with him. Stop doing this. Why aren't you using your words to advocate for yourself?